Good afternoon, everyone. I'm not used to using a microphone. I'm quite a noisy person, so I'm normally heard. But the first thing I'd like to do is welcome you all here today. And on behalf of my wife, Lorraine, myself, Adam's parents, David and Jane, say formally thank you for coming. We hope you're enjoying yourselves. And it's very important that you do, because your company here today was vital. When I first sat down and spoke to Adam and Michelle, if I look at them, I cry.
She's crying watching you.
When I first sat down and spoke to them about the wedding, I said, what do you want? When, how many, and all those sort of things you do as a father. And knowing them, if nature hadn't made me bald, I would have been, because I thought, oh my God, they're going to choose something, like a VW Beetle in South America to get wedded in, because they're not the most sensible children. Who would have intellectual people have time out, a sabbatical in the middle of a recession, and then they choose to go around some of the most inhospitable parts of South America, and they go backpacking, and they'd only been together a few years. Not many husbands can be with their wives for 2 weeks on a holiday. But anyway, so it's good to see you all. But the reason it's really important to see you is when I sat down and spoke to them about what they wanted, they weren't certain where or when, but they said to me, I want my family and my very close friends. And I went, yeah, but where and when? They went, no, I want my family and very close friends. And I said, okay. And they also said to me, and I'm positive they said to David and Jane, that their fun and their special day will be extra special if you enjoy yourselves. So, A, you're very special people. You must really know that, but you are in their eyes. And B, please, please have a good time, because it'll make them have a brilliant time. I'm trying to think the other bits. I was going to talk about Michelle and let you know a bit about her, but I've had the good fortune to discuss and meet the people today that I hadn't known before. And so what's happened, I realised that you nearly all know Michelle. So the things I was going to tell you about Michelle, you already know. So I'm not going to try and tell you something you know. So the good news is you get about 5 minutes of your life back. The bad news, I have to say 5 Hail Marys later because I've breached Adam's spreadsheet. Sorry, Adam. But the one thing I will say about Michelle, like our elder daughter, Lorraine, are very proud. And I went through all the various things when I was going to talk about Michelle, and I think all her good points. She's kind, she's sweet, she's generous. I nearly said temperamental, but then someone said she's a woman. So, anyway. But the good thing about her is she can always see the best. That's the best quality. She can always see the best in people. And the good thing for me is that I can now sleep better, because I know Adam will look after her, because how she sees the best in everybody. I haven't taught her right, because there's some real people out there. So Adam, I'm delighted. Can you protect her from herself? Although it's her best attribute, seeing the best. Sorry, but I'm just thinking. Oh, I had brought a book along because I didn't know what to talk about. So I found a book from a school that Michelle went to, and I went through it to try and get some inspiration. And the good news, it was in 2000, and I looked at the book and I thought, what did Michelle say in there when she was going from 5th form to 6th form? Ambition. It says to have a fulfilling and happy life. Well, today she's fulfilled the happy life, and I hope she continues, and we all do, especially David as well, and Jane. And a fulfilling and adventurous life, well, their stupid holidays are adventurous for them and a nightmare for their parents. Sorry, David and Jane, I've taken the liberty of thinking you agree with me. The drug-infested bloomin' countries. The other thing that was really useful in here, I've gone through all the friends, and the nice news, this was 15 years ago, I'm delighted to see 4 or 5 of her friends here. Her best school friend was Lisa Walmsley, and Lisa was a bridesmaid, is here somewhere. Yeah, and there's Polly, Graham, and a number of them. I was going to embarrass the young girls by reading out their aspirations and their good ideas, and at the end it's got a personal message. But I've chosen the best personal message because there's a few single people here. Polly Graham said something along the lines, keep on kissing the frogs and eventually you'll find your prince or princess. And being a gentleman for once in my life, I'm not going to show you the photographs because you think passport photographs are not very good. These make passport photographs look beautiful. So the next thing I was going to talk about was Adam. And I was going to say some nice things about Adam, but I've realised with his friends, it's traditional to give him a hard time. But Adam, I let you off, because when you got me as a father-in-law, that's the worst nightmare you could have. But I'm really proud you're joining the family. I've already got a brilliant son-in-law, and to have two is brilliant. So the other thing I was going to talk about, and I've skipped out, was a bit about the date you've chosen, July, and everyone knows. And I looked at various, this microphone, I wish I didn't have it. I looked at various things about dates, and I thought it's such an important date, like America declared independence. But I also was told that by David that some of the Cornishes were coming from Italy. So I went to see what happened on the 4th of July a while ago. And in 836, peace between the Principality of Benevento and the Duchy of Naples. So I don't know if that's true, but that puts you as one of the most important first events on the 4th of July. Although I gather you come from the other end of Italy, but it's still Italy. And then 1776, you all know, and I don't because I'm a bit thick, American independence declared. And this proves that Adam's spreadsheet isn't as bad as I've said, because they declared independence in 1776. The first formal celebration was 1796, 20 years later. So Adam, you should have given them your spreadsheet. And then the only last thing to say, I'm glad to add on to this, is that 2015, a very special event, and hopefully it'll never appear in WikiLeaks, but Adam and Michelle got married. Congratulations. I'm looking to the best men because I'm thinking, am I overrunning? And I'm okay. Oh, good. Well, I'm used to anyone who's been married for a while. I've been married 40 years. I've usually got my better half next to me, and she corrects me, interrupts me, and makes me do the things right. But I've been told to stay away from her and make a fool of myself as I can do. But normally she protects me from that. So the other thing I wanted to say was it would be wrong of me not to thank David and Jane for making Michelle so welcome. From the day Adam took Michelle home, David and Jane have welcomed me into their home and made her feel special. So from Lorraine and I, I'm very grateful. Adam, I thought I had two good son-in-laws, but the son-in-law that actually gets me crying on camera may have just lost a few points. So Dave and Jane, thank you very much. You made it, and I know it's made such a difference to Michelle. And now she's had such a lovely time, and it's, for a father, it's nice to know that she's always happy and welcome. And when I hear her talk about holidays with you or going to visit you, she just talks about it as though she's known you for all her life, and she looks forward to seeing you. So thank you very much. Yeah, I also have to thank the wider Cornish family, because I know you've all made Michelle feel welcome, and they've had lots of good times with you, and I know you've had a number of family reunions where Michelle and Adam have had a good time. So much so that on a few occasions I thought they were going out socially with friends, and I find it was family. So that's how much fun they have with you. So thank you. I've got a long story about names, but I'm so nervous. I think I'll do it right. The one thing I have written, and I must say, is Lorraine and I named both our daughters. And I'm pleased to say both of them have fulfilled the names they were given. And Michelle means gift from God, or it means who is like God. And I'm pleased to say she's lived up to it. Thank you. So, thank you very much. I think if I'm doing okay, the only thing between possibly having your meal perfect is for me to actually ask you to stand and drink a toast to the bride and groom, Michelle and Adam. Wishing them a happy, long... Wishing you a happy, long and prosperous wedding, marriage together even, wedding we've had that. May you have many happy years, and we hope that just like both sets of parents, you achieve your aspirations and dreams and carry on forward in the style you've been in the last 6 years. Happy together, being sensible. Michelle and Adam. So thank you for the camera, Adam. Thank you very much.
Sorry to interrupt. We're actually, it's not looking good actually. We're now 35 minutes behind.
We'll just cut out the best man.
Is that by his schedule? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, it is by his schedule, yeah. So we're 35 minutes behind and counting. So I better hurry up. There's a man very nervous. He's been looking at his watch now 35 times recently. So here he is, the man himself. Devon knows how they make him so dreamy. It's Mr. Adam Cornish.
Good evening, everybody. We've been having a lovely evening. That's my spreadsheet, which I don't need anymore. That's out the window, 35 minutes behind. So I wanted to start really by saying, just on behalf of my wife and I, we'd just like to echo Graham's sentiment earlier, just offer a really, really massive, enormous and very, very sincere thank you to each and every one of you for being here today. We know, or I know at least from being at the pub last night, that there were a few sort of horrendous journeys down last night and yesterday afternoon. So we really appreciate all of you coming quite this far. We know it's quite out of the way for most people, and that's actually just the people that live in the UK. So we've got people here from Canada, or Quebec. Quebec. There's a difference, I know, apparently. We've got a whole rabble of family from Italy over here. Both Michelle and I have friends and family from California, all the way from California. Tend to be the loudest. And the special prize goes to my dear Auntie Mary, who's come all of the way through. So, I mean, it is a bit of a cliche to thank everybody for coming, but we do genuinely mean it. It's the most important thing for Michelle and I, as Graham said, that you know, we're just here with all of you guys. So. I just wanted to start by just asking everyone to raise their glasses and just have a toast for yourselves, really. So, cheers, everybody. And of course, today couldn't really have happened without all of the help and support that Michelle and I have had from our bridesmaids and our ushers. And it's not just the logistics of getting things done today, but also those kind of moments of respite and break when we've been kind of heavily burdened by Wedmin. And our friends have kind of taken us away from that and given us a bit of a break. It was probably about 6 or 7 weeks ago where Michelle was taken on her surprise hen do to Sitges. Is that the right Sitges? Gay capital of Spain? Hang on a minute. I'm going to get off these guys, not you. Gay capital of Spain. Rob, remember that from our sister. And on that hen do, all the girls learned how to make cocktails, they learned how to surf, and rather unfortunately, my mother learned how to slut dance. I know that was you, Emma Ty. avoiding eye contact. My dad can't slut drop. Emma, maybe you can teach him later. Just make sure I'm not there. And then it was probably 3 or 4 weeks later on when, on a lunch break from work, I was out with Michelle and my cousin Bethan, just sort of innocently picking up some lunch on a Thursday afternoon when I was ambushed by 9 of my mates and taken away for 3 days in Iceland, where there was no night time whatsoever, but a lot of alcohol. So I can only really describe that 3 days of absolute annihilation, and it took me quite a few days to get over that afterwards. But both Michelle and I had excellent times on our respective hen and stag do, so I want to say thank you to not just the guys who organised it, but obviously the guys that attended as well. A special thanks really goes to Sarah, who's the maid of honour, or as she likes to refer to herself as Chief Bridesmaid, for her super militant organisational skills. And everyone's probably heard about my spreadsheets now, so you'll recognise that I really appreciate that. So it's been an absolute godsend to me personally the last few days, just getting stuff done. And to Michelle, I know that Sarah, you've given her the support that only an amazing big sister can do. So big thank you for both of us. And I want to thank my best men, 2 guys sat next to me. This is kind of rotund chap, and I might regret thanking him in about 45 minutes or so, but we'll see. I've known these guys since we were about 12, so 20 odd years. Grown up with me, they've been through some good times, and they've sort of been through a few scrapes with me. A couple of weeks ago, I'm pretty sure on my stag do that they might have tried to kill me too. Despite all that, I wouldn't have it any other way than having you 2 boys next to me. So thank you, lads. And so of course, I'd like to say thank you to my new official family, Stepneys. And that's not just Graham and Lorraine, but that's Sarah and that's Chris and the kids and the whole kind of extended Beckett family and Stepney family. I say official family because, to be honest, since the day that I've met all of you, you've made me feel like one of the family. You know, whether that's from welcoming me into your home, Graham getting me to chase sheep around your fields for you, and of course teaching me the intricacies of British Telecom hub and exchange network. Something I never expected to know about, but now I feel like I do.
But it's got some uses.
Well, maybe, remains to be seen. I know that Michelle has always kind of talked of her family as being the most loving and supportive family that she could ever wish for, and you've certainly been that way with me ever since I met you. So for the kindness that you've shown me and Michelle in the days leading up to today and today, we'd like to say thank you to all of you as well. Similarly, we couldn't be here today if it wasn't for all the support of my parents, my mum and my dad, who I sort of hadn't banked on the fact that they'd be sat staring right at me. Should have planned my table plan a bit better. Spreadsheets failed me. But they've always been nothing but 110% supportive to me growing up, and they continue to be that way with me today. They'll always bend over backwards to help me and go out of their way as much as possible. I know I don't say it enough, but I'll always be eternally grateful to both of you, and I love you very much, so thank you. So on to my wife. I think you'll all agree that, well, I think she's the most beautiful bride I've ever seen and never likely to see, and it just looks fantastic today. And I was gobsmacked when she walked into the church this afternoon. In the lead up today, I was asked by Lisa at the back there to record a video diary for about 10 days before, where I was posed a number of questions around what were kind of Michelle's most redeeming qualities, what were the things I was most looking forward to about the wedding, and what was I most excited about for married life. And for me, it sort of breaks down quite simply to 3 things. And the first is Michelle's spirit of adventure. Ever since I've known her, she's always been happy to give anything a go, no matter how scared she might be about it. And whether that's kind of conquering her fear of mountains and heights, and now she'll throw herself down that with nothing more than a piece of thin wood strapped to her feet. When we met, she was afraid of eating anything that wasn't Ryvita and hummus. but very true. Or if it's. But now she sort of rather snobbishly will turn her nose up if there isn't razor clams on a menu. So it's come a long way. But to me, the thing that typifies that is about 5 years ago, I remember stood next to a hotel swimming pool with Michelle, and she was bawling her eyes out. It was the first time she'd strapped on some scuba diving gear and got into a swimming pool. Despite the fact it was only 1.5 metres of water in a hotel swimming pool. But she was absolutely terrified by the experience. But 5 days later, she was an open water qualified diver, and since then she's gone on to do qualification after qualification. Now she's the most experienced qualification for a recreational diver. Yeah, you can possibly imagine. So she's conquered that fear as well. And it's things like this that make Michelle my inspiration every day. Of course, unfortunately, we don't get to scuba dive, snowboard, and eat razor clams every day. I try my very best. But what I do see of Michelle every day is her sort of soft, bright, and bubbly side. And now, as obvious as that might be to everyone in this room who knows Michelle, which is everyone in this room, I'm not sure if she recognises that herself, because I remember being on a holiday with Chris and Sarah in Portugal maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and Michelle and I sort of snuck outside the restaurant to go and watch the sunset, and she said to me, "Oh, it's so nice being here with you because my family get to see the softer side of me." And I said, "Oh, what do you mean?" She said, "Well, all my family think, and I'm quote, that I'm badass." But of course, despite all of this, she does have a very obvious, soft, positive and smiling nature. And she never lets any obstacle get in her way, and she's got this crazy knack of being able to make impossible things possible. And for that, I'm never going to be able to thank her enough. And I finally, taking all of that as read, as most people might know as well, Michelle is prone to her occasional blonde moment. And she said quite a few sort of funny things over the years, and I do often get asked, what's the funniest thing Michelle's done today? And I've normally got a different answer for most occasions, but some of my personal highlights were David, which is my dad. David, apart from James's kids, do you have any other grandchildren? Do you know I never touched a stray animal until I met Adam? And isn't it called the North Pole because there's a giant magnetic pole in the ground that all the foxes are attracted to? So, and I'm sure you probably all got your own in your mind as well. So when people ask me what do I expect from marriage, to be honest, it's everything that I could ever hope and wish for, and that is a life of adventure, a life of possibilities, and of course a huge slice of humour. Michelle, you make today amazing, and you always make tomorrow exciting. I can't wait to spend the rest of our lives together. So I've got to ask everyone just to raise their glasses and toast my wife, Mrs. Cornish, to the bride. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening.
Weighing in at 150 pounds, Johnny the Monkey Todd. And joining him, out of Montreal, Canada, weighing in at 942 pounds. If this man asks you what the capital of Thailand is, do not respond. Simon Bangkok Brown.
Okay, we've got some props, so give us a sec here.
went along with Graham and Adam for it, haven't we?
Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, we'd like to start by congratulating the happy couple. Michelle looks amazing today, don't you agree? Adam, you scrub up okay, but you could have thought of a more original outfit.
Well, Pads has done a grand introduction of us, but